Hey, what's up, guys? The other day, last week, I made a video which explained the HGH source that I was getting off successfully. They were really good. I would put an order through to them, and within a few days would get tracking number, and then within a week would get the actual HGH, and it was called somatropin, a package like this. I was running that for a few months, 4 months or so, 5 months, and it worked really well. Okay, I spent over probably $1,200 on these guys running this stuff, and with great results. But the last order I did with them, I put it through. They were running a special, which was a discounted, like by $20 or so. So I was like, okay, I'll buy a discounted, price. I'll go buy it, and I didn't hear back from them. I didn't get any orders or anything. Spent $220 on them, nothing, right? And I put a few emails back to them, like, hey, just want to make sure, the order is going through still. Nothing, right? It's like, oh, I guess that source is now ripping me off essentially in Canada. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll have to find a new source. So in the last few weeks, I haven't been running HGH, which is kind of been interesting because since I was running for like 5 months, I want to, like, coming off it, I wanted to see what was like, if there was any kind of withdrawal symptoms, right? Coming off it, which I believe there was, but very minimal decrease in recovery time and decrease in stamina and energy, essentially, okay? But nothing too substantial. And I attribute that to the fact that when you run HGH, your essential, like pituitary gland and hypothalamus, which is controlling the pituitary gland, which is controls the normal natural HGH, gets turned off, just like in the pituitary gland in the connection with your gonads, your testicles, gets turned off when you run testosterone because you're providing an exogenous source of it, right? So it doesn't need it anymore. Okay, so I was curious about what the effects would be, and it's been 2 weeks now, but it hasn't been that bad. Okay, but to go back to the whole point of this video, which I got a new source, and the new source in Canada, they were, as soon as I sent a message, got one right back and put that order through, got a message right back with the tracking number, and within days, like 3 days, got my HGH. It was a little bit more expensive, but nothing crazy. It's still around just over $200. So there's a difference of packaging, but other than that, the it's still the exact, I believe, same HGH, which is these black tops. I still have the top from the last one, and I compared the two, and it's the exact same label. So the only difference was the packaging. So what I suspect was they get these packaging for vials, and like with some type of printer, they made this one look like it was like a legit fucking like pharmaceutical type of thing when it's really just generic, and this one is just like just straight generic, right? But it's still the same vials, which I believe are from China, which are the Qingdao Sigma Chemical Company HGH. That's what I believe that both are. So anyway, I got HGH again. I'm running that again, starting tonight. And what I was running before was 6 to 8 IUs a day, and I believe I'll continue with that because I think that's just a sweet spot for me. You can run lower. I wouldn't recommend running like 2 IUs a day. I think that's just not enough. You need to run at least 4 especially when you're doing a cycle of other compounds. Okay, and HGH is something that I very much recommend everybody who's running any type of cycle runs, even a TRT dose runs, okay? And some people might disagree with me on this one, but there's a reason for that, which is, here's the thing. I'll lay it out for you right now. When you take testosterone, it increases, especially in super physiological doses, it increases the estradiol in your system, okay? And then you mitigate that so it's not going through the roof, but it's still there. You don't want to crush it, because whether it's too high or too little can have very negative side effects on your overall well-being, your gains, your sexual function, everything. So you want some estrogen in your system, okay? And one of the reasons for that is because estrogen very much has a symbiotic effect, helps with the HGH in like turning to IGF factor 1, and IGF factor 1 being like essentially made in the muscles and everywhere it's supposed to be to do what it's supposed to do, which is fucking grow new tissues, new muscle fibers, okay? And that's very important, because that's the whole point of taking it, okay? So that's why you want estrogen for one, in taking the testosterone, and then you have the human growth hormone, which with that level of estrogen is going to help with the IGF factor 1. If you totally had no estrogen, taking the human growth hormone would have not as great, if not no effects, okay? That's just my general understanding of that. If somebody else has anything you want to add to that, please put down below in the comment section, okay? So that's where I'm at now. Now, human growth hormone, I think, is a major, again, important component to take in any type of TRT plus / HRT regimen, okay? And the benefits I've noticed was very much, for one, a fat loss. Before I started taking anything, like 6 months ago, my girlfriend always talked about how fat I was, like pudgy, and I need to do something, and you know what I mean? After a few months of running things, it was like she never mentioned that again. And right now she's like, definitely you're not fat anymore. And what I've noticed is other people talking about how ripped I am and how great I look, including my parents. And I don't know, like, I'm not like super fucking huge or anything by any means, but it's like I got fucking muscle definition and muscle growth, and I attribute that to the current cycle I'm on, which I'm going to lead to the second portion of this video, which I have been running testosterone 300 milligrams a week, Masteron 300 milligrams a week, and NPP 150 milligrams a week. And I was only doing that for about 2.5 months. I was considering pulling it back a bit to either a TRT dose or just everything just coming down a little bit to like running tests in Masteron at like 200 or less than 200, and then NPP at like 50 to 100. Just because I think nandrolone is a very important component that you can run year round. Now, I'm still undecided on this, but as far as what the moment goes, I'm going to continue running what I am because of just the great results that there is, okay? And I understand that could be technically classified as a blasting still. So you want, a lot of people go on blast and cruise cycles, right, where they go a little bit on the exaggerated side of things with the compounds they take, and then they come back to a TRT or a little bit less. And that's a great thing to do, but from just based on my experience, and this isn't not a recommendation, so everybody like who's listening here, like I want to there is still some concern on doing that, but as far as I'm at now, I'm going to continue running what I have been running for the last few months. And there's this guy who comments on my video a lot, Ricky, a lot of great support and everything. Thank you, Ricky, for everything you're doing. And he he asked what I'm running now, so this is why I'm addressing this now. Is I'm just going to continue running this at least for a little bit longer. That's it. Just like just based on the results I'm getting, like it's like I feel like it is doing exactly what I'm looking for, right? So my philosophy here is to continue running it at least a little bit longer to get what I'm looking for and then pull back, right? Because I don't think I'm fully there yet. This current cycle, especially running this master run, I'm been cutting like a motherfucker. Well, I'll call it more recomping, which is my weight and my bloating and everything's come down. Meanwhile, gaining strength and size. I want to, but I'm not quite at that ideal stage yet. When I feel like I'm at that ideal stage, which I think is only going to take 1 month more, continue running it, because it's like I'm almost there. Why pull back when I'm almost at what I'm looking for, right? As far as the ideal state of being in my physiology and performance. So, and I understand that some people might have concern for this, and I get that. You know, I'm going out kind of extending myself a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. But at the same time, here's the thing. The last 5 months I've been running steroids. Always when I take blood pressure, like religiously, like all the time. Every time I'm in a pharmacy, in Walmart, or at my gym, I take my blood pressure. It was always 140, 150 over 90, over 100. Like, that's bad. Well, it's not good. The last 2 weeks, it's been the lowest blood pressure I've ever had, ever. Since I've recorded, which is like under 120 over, it's like 115 over 70, with the beats per minute at like 70 beats per minute. Normally that was at like 90 or something. Like, my blood pressure before was ridiculous. So as long as my blood pressure is good, I know there might be other things like LDL and liver and kidney markers, but that might be bad, or hematocrit. I don't know, because I haven't taken blood tests, and I know that's a bad thing. But right now, it's my blood pressure is pretty fucking good, like better than normal range, and I attribute that to the Cialis I'm taking. Like, it is just, I've just found something that works more better, and that's probably not even good grammar. More better works better than what I expected. So I'm going to continue running it for a little bit more, as into this summer season. So I'm thinking at least 1 more month. That's where I'm at now, and then pull back. The thing is, and some people have suggested in the past that you can run moderate dose cycles, which I believe that I'm at now. I'm not at like a low dose, a moderate, not a high dose. I'm not running like 500 plus of tests. 300 test is just a little bit above a TRT. I know some people are like, TRT is 125, so you're running like twice a TRT. Yeah, I'm running super physiological dose, no doubt, but it's not like beyond the extent of what I believe is going to be detrimental to my health. There might be some negative things there, just like my blood pressure was bucking 150 over 100 for a long time. That's not great at all. That could cause. That's the worst thing, to be honest, because if your blood pressure is that high for that long, your heart's working overtime. Your heart is going to like grow muscle, essentially, and you get left ventricular hypertrophy, and that's something that's going to kill you like down the road. 100%. You're going to live like 20 years less than what you normally would. If your blood pressure like it is right now, I tested it today, and I tested it over the period of the last 2 weeks, is 115 over 70 with 70 beats per minute. Like, dude, that's better than ideal for me. My heart has never beat like that before. So I think I'm within whatever I'm doing right now. I think it's working. So why not continue it at least a little bit longer? And like I'm saying, I'm getting a lot of great feedback from people about my steroid use. Well, not that they know not necessarily what I'm doing, but like about my physique and things. And but at the same time, once I reach a certain point, I don't want to push it anymore because I don't want to be super super jacked where I look like I'm on roids anyway, right? And potentially I'm at kind of almost at that point already, right? So I'm going to run it for a little bit more and then pull back to a TRT, and it's going to be TRT plus dose still with human growth hormone, probably with Masteron still a little bit, and with a little bit of natural. That's what I'm going to run potentially for the rest of the year, but not necessarily at the doses I'm running now, right? And I do plan on taking blood tests soon. I'm going to have to look into that because it is necessary, like, to make sure that you're not your engine, like, it's always important to go get your car serviced after, like, I do it every 2 years, right? My Honda Civic I have, it's like, okay, I'll do a service just to make sure that, like, my transmission fluid and everything is good, right? I don't want to fuck my car up, and brakes and everything are good, right? So that's where I'm at now. What do you think? Leave criticism, please, if you think that. I guarantee that I deserve criticism on this one. But I'm also just here being honest and being what I'm doing. And but as far as everything goes in the performance of the gym and in the boxing, it's like the best shape of my life. And at the same time, continuing cutting, right? And I want to feel like I'm going to cut a little bit more, at least creep comp as far as my bloating and body fat percentage goes. So that's where I'm at now. Thank you for watching, guys, like always, and thanks for everybody's comments on my videos. Love you all. Peace.